There comes a time in everyone's life where you must face a foe that you thought was once your friend. In-N-Out, I truly hate to do it to him, but we gonna do it. Okay, so we're gonna recreate the In-N-Out burger at home as best we can. In-N-Out's something that's special to me, right? I grew up with it. I really believe that that's that same motorcyclist. I'm at a red light, dude, just chilling. Oh, how are you doing? Oh, the light's green? Is that really necessary? Anyway, let's do this, shall we?
Like, I thought that we were gonna not see people out and about, and yet we see all these people running. And then we'll, another double with cheese, animal style fries. Awesome, thank you.
We got the bag. This is a tough one for me. I'm from California, so. I also could not resist the temptation of getting animal style fries.
Oh, right, the video.
Their presentation is undefeated. Take the bag off, you eat from this bag.
Don't eat with this bag.
In-N-Out rule from LA that I just made up. I wanna say something. This is a good burger, but can we make it better? Yes, I got it, let's do this.
You guys know I'm making my own buns. So you're gonna start with half a cup or 120 grams of whole milk, around 98 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're gonna mix in 1 tablespoon or 9 grams of instant yeast. Let that sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes. Now starting with 2 1/4 cup or 320 grams of bread flour, which could be considered a precious metal right now. You're gonna add 1 teaspoon or 7 grams of fine sea salt, and 2 tablespoons or 20 grams of granulated sugar. Pull out your whisk, drop it on the floor, and then give it some whiskey business until thoroughly combined. Transfer that to a stand mixer with the dough spiral thingy attached. Next, we're gonna make a quick little roux. In a small pot, combine 2 tablespoons or 20 grams of bread flour and 6 tablespoons or 87 grams of water. Then just whisk that together and then begin mixing over medium heat until super thick like this. Then just put it to the side and let it cool till room temperature. With your mixer running on low, add your yeasty milky mixture. That's gross, sorry. Followed by 1 egg plus 1 egg yolk, then your cooled thicky flour mixture. Now look, this dough starts out pretty sticky, so you're gonna wanna let your mixture mix that for about 2 to 5 minutes or until everything's looking nice and smooth. Then you're gonna add 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of unsalted softened butter, 1 tablespoon at a time. Then just let that mix for another 2 to 3 minutes until thoroughly incorporated and smooth. Spray a medium-sized bowl with oil, shape your dough into a light ball, plop it into your bowl, lightly grease some plastic wrap, place it on top, and let it rise for about 1.5 to 2 hours, or until doubled. Now once your dough's gone thicko mode, give it a nice little kiss, and then punch that bit. Once you've degassed it, dump it out onto a lightly floured work surface, and divide it into 6 even pieces, each piece weighing about 95 to 105 grams. To shape these, you're going to take the bottom, fold those pieces over itself, flip it over so the seam side is down, and then roll it around on an unfloured work surface with your fingers constantly in contact with the board until it tightens up into a nice ball, and repeat with the rest. Place them all on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Now once you have your buns, lightly cover your baking sheets with either a damp towel or another baking sheet inverted on top, and let this proof for 45 minutes to an hour in a warm area. Lightly brush all your buns with egg wash consisting of 1 egg plus a splash of water. And then I bake these at 375 Fahrenheit convection, but you could probably go ahead and just do 400 if you want, for about 15 to 17 minutes.
Or until delightful golden brown. Look at those glossy, thick, chunky boys.
Then just immediately brush all those plump boys with melted butter and let them cool. Obviously, these are an iteration from my already burger bun recipe. Before we make our burgers, we need to make the coveted In-N-Out burger sauce. Start by dicing 2 whole onions, add 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of unsalted butter to a small saucepan, bring that up to heat over medium heat. Once the butter's melted and bubbling, add your onions, along with a small pinch of sugar and some salt, and then just let that cook over medium heat for about 30 minutes, stirring occasionally, adding water if the pan gets too dry or it's burning, until nice and deeply caramelized like this. I know it takes time, but you can't rush it. And obviously, you can do this while you're waiting for your dough to rise. Now, in a medium-sized bowl, you're gonna add 3/4 cup or 180 grams of mayonnaise, half a cup or 130 grams of ketchup, a 1/3 cup or 15 grams of finely sliced chives, 2 tablespoons or 27 grams of Worcestershire sauce, damn it. Add a small pinch of salt and then whisk all that together until thoroughly combined. Then you're gonna add 2 finely diced dill pickles, assuming they're not gigantic, and then your caramelized onions, and then mix all those together and you've got the most incredible burger sauce of your life. I mean, really, I was shocked tasting this. It's nuts. Okay, so now we're ready for the components of our burger. If you're gonna have onions on the burger too, In-N-Out usually griddles their onions before they put it on. So all you gotta do is cut your onions about a 1/2 inch thick into rings like this, leave them put together, get the pan and coat it with oil, heat it over medium-high heat, and then sear them on both sides until you get some nice caramelized color like this. If you wanna go a little farther, you can also add some butter and baste them in that. Okay, so now we need to talk about our meat patty. So you're gonna need 1 pound or 450 grams of ground beef. This is about 80% fat. Divide that into 4 pieces, and then roll them into balls. Next, heat a cast iron skillet over medium-high heat until ripping hot. Brush it with a high-heat oil, add one of your balls, and then press it down with a spatula until it's about 4 inches in diameter. It should be nice and flat. Then just season that with salt. Let that sear for about 2 to 3 minutes or until nice and crispy caramelized on the bottom. Look at that. Flip it over, season again with salt, and then here's the thing. You can do this totally optionally, but I really recommend it. Add in 2 cloves of lightly crushed garlic left in its skin, a bunch of thyme, and a couple tablespoons of butter, and then just baste that until the other side is nicely seared. Now if you're gonna have cheese on these, which I would highly recommend, add a slice of cheddar cheese on one patty, a slice of Munster or Monterey Jack on the other. Now there's a couple ways you can melt the cheese. You can always just let it cook until it melts, or you can add a splash of water, or you could do this. Place your griddled onion on top of the bottom patty, and then the top patty on top of that patty. So we're finally ready to assemble. Slice your buns in half, set a pan over medium heat, toss in 1 tablespoon of butter. Once they're melted and bubbling, add your buns and toast for a couple minutes or until nice and golden brown like this. Always toast your buns. You are not allowed to eat a burger unless they are toasted. Okay, here we go, burger assembly. We have to be serious here, okay? Focus. So you're gonna add a heaping tablespoon of your sauce on both buns that are toasted, of course. The more sauce, the merrier. You can never really have too much of this good sauce. Spread it out evenly. Lightly salt 1 half-inch slice of tomato on both sides, and then place that on your bottom bun, followed by a hearty piece of iceberg lettuce. Carefully and gently lower on your burger patties, and then finally crown your king with the top of your bun. Okay, let me make sure I do this correct. Da 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 All right, we're done with that. That's enough.
I did it, except this is a little tall. I have a feeling that I'm not gonna be able to
Fit this in my mouth.
Wow, actually jumping. It's an orb of light, but it's taking shape of something. Oh, well, I lost it, but. So comparatively, here we've got the In-N-Out. We'll eat this one again. The height of this burger makes the most sense, for sure. Well, maybe. It's not even comparable. Comparable? Making these buns changed the game. We still won, because this is still a great burger, I'm not gonna lie. In-N-Out, my heart goes out to them. Like, rest in peace, but you lose to a burger that's too tall. If you disagree, then please let me know, comment. I guess to put a long story short, mine is quality you can taste. I'm a big fan of In-N-Out, really, and respect to everybody in the game, all right? Love you.
But do you want to know what else respects everybody in the game? B-roll.
Alright guys, and that is it. So we made In-N-Out burgers. These churgers, however you like to say it, it doesn't matter. Honestly, head to head, it was a pretty close call in my opinion. With that said, I really think In-N-Out does a good burger. It's really hard for me to say that this is a win. In-N-Out, thank you for being a good sport, even though you literally non-consensually were participating in this, but nonetheless, with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.